Hello, how's everyone doing today? I just want to take the time out to say thank you for taking the time to come gather here with me today while I take a few minutes of your time. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the NFL. Imagine putting a team on your back, outperforming the expectations, and still being told that you are not good enough. Sure, we all can relate to that somehow, some way. Well, Lamar Jackson, who plays for the Baltimore Ravens, was named the 2004 NFL MVP by Pro Football Writers of America, stated Alex Butler, a pro football writer himself. And although he was rated the MVP, he did not win that award. This isn't just about football we're going to talk about today. It's about how we define success and who we choose to recognize. Today we're going to go over the fact that Lamar Jackson should have won MVP by examining a few things. The fact that the MVP race overlooked Lamar's impact on the game and his team. The media and stat obsession that disordered voter judgment. And the fact that Jackson's full performance throughout the season proved his case. Also, we'll discuss how the opposition fails to account for total value. First thing we'll talk about is the problem. The problem is that the ongoing MVP debate was Allen versus Jackson. When they make the final decision for this, they look at flashy stats. And in numbers, Allen may have done better than Jackson by just a little bit. But this overlooks Lamar's performance and the way that he impacted his team completely. The problem is they're not looking at true values of the player here. They're looking at just passing stats. Lamar was a two-time MVP, ranked NFL's best player for 2025 season despite coming off a major snub, said Pro Football Network 2025. This means that even though Lamar lost MVP last year to Allen, they predict him to be the NFL MVP this year. The cause of this is facts like we played a tougher division. The Baltimore Ravens are in the AFC. They faced elite defenses regularly. Lamar carried this offense with both his arms and his legs. If anybody here knows and watches football, we all know that Lamar Jackson is a big part of that team. Whether he's passing the ball or doesn't have an option down the field and he takes off running. And not too many people can catch Lamar when he takes off running. So he carries the team with not just his arms, but his legs. Also, the Ravens had many injuries in key positions this year. Injured running backs and injured offensive linemen, whereas the Buffalo Bills did not. Allen had a healthy team. He had a lot of help. The solution to this is to look at how Jackson performed on the field. He had over 4,000 total yards and over 40 passing touchdowns, according to ESPN. He led the league in quarterback ratings, proving his elite efficiency. The Baltimore Ravens beat top contenders, including the 49ers, the Miami Dolphins, the Detroit Lions, and under a new offensive coordinator at that. Lamar still led his team to 13-4, putting them in the AFC #1 seed. And then the opposition is going to argue that Allen was the Bills' engine, but he also was their liability. If we're looking at turnover rates, he had about 18 turnovers last season. Lamar did not. He had just a few. And Lamar also carried his team. He's also the engine for the Baltimore Ravens. In the locker room, on the field, when his team slacks off, he picks up for that. And the Ravens won all season long. They didn't need the late season desperation like the Bills did. The Bills didn't play as well as the Ravens all season. And the Ravens also, they beat tougher teams and they played better situational football when it mattered the most in the biggest games of the season, against the biggest opponents, against the best players, the best defenses, the best offenses. We went out there and they won games, regardless of that. But Josh Allen soars past Lamar Jackson in the NFL ratings, said USA Today, 2024. So, the MVP race 100% overlooked Lamar's impact. The media in the stat obsession disordered all the voters' judgment, even those who believed and voted that Lamar should have been the MVP. And Jackson's full performance all season long also proved that he should have won the MVP. The opposition fails to account for total value. And if you're anything like me, I stood up all night watching that award show, and the last thing they announced was the MVP winner for the 2024 season, and I stayed up all night just to hear them call Josh Allen's name. Then I had money on FanDuel. I lost my bet, I lost sleep, and it was all to something that is not true. And I think most of the world can agree with me that the true MVP of last season was indeed Lamar Jackson, and indeed will be this year. So yes, Josh Allen may have had flashier numbers, but Lamar Jackson had more wins with less mistakes, he was more efficient, and he had a higher impact on his team's complete success. So when the MVP is about value, leadership, and winning football, the clear answer in 2024 was Lamar Jackson. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Everybody can leave or get back to work, whatever you got to do. Thank you so much for taking the time to come listen to me. I truly appreciate it.